Hi, my name's Steve Large. Before the talk today, I'd just like us all to take a moment again and just take that nice, long, deep breath. Filling your belly, feeling it all the way down, and just slowly letting it out and just let yourself relax. It's important we take these moments each and every day just to calm ourselves down. A lot of people don't realise that when you're breathing shallow in your chest, like this triggers the fight or flight response, which means your mind will go more active, causing anxiety and other issues of the mind. So, and just hold, just feel relaxed, and then all the way out, and just allowing all that tension, all the pressures of the day just to release as you breathe out, and just slow your breathing down. Nice, deep, slow breathing, and just calm yourself. And you'll notice your mind will start to calm too, and you may even be able to hear and listen to what I'm saying a little bit more clearer. So what I'd like to talk about, which I think is very important, and it was a struggle I had for years, is becoming your own best friend. Now, there's nothing worse than fighting with yourself. And when I say fighting with yourself, that constant chaos in your mind, that constant beating yourself up, putting yourself down, telling you to worry about situations coming up, or this might happen, that might happen, or making you remember things of the past. So you might be doing something now and being like, oh, I'm enjoying this, and then there it goes. Oh yeah, but remember when you used to do this with so-and-so, a past friend or a loved one that's no longer in your life, things like that. It's all mind-based, and what it does is it takes us away from appreciating the only thing we ever have is the now. Every great memory you've ever have, or any great thing that will happen in your life, happens in this precise moment now. It's only ever now, that only ever is now. Time is a construct of the brain and the mind, as is past and future. That is only ever now. So, bearing this in mind, we have to be friends with ourselves in the now. And let me just tell you before you start, once you become friends with yourself and your best friend is you, you're never lonely. Wherever you go, you're with yourself. Now, this doesn't mean loving yourself in a vanity sense of the word and looking in the mirror and going, yeah, check me out, I'm awesome, and not noticing what's going around. It's about connecting with everything around and being a part of that. But in your mind, you're your own best friend, so you're supportive. If you had someone in your life that was a friend and they're constantly putting you down and telling you, you're no good, you're rubbish, you're going to fail, how long would you be their friend for? Some of us have been friends with this type of people for a long time, but we wake up and we realise that this relationship maybe doesn't serve us best, and eventually we learn to walk away from these so-called friendships. But we can't walk away from the friendship with ourselves, so we have to make it work. Now, hypnotherapy is awesome for this. This is not a promotional video, it's just an explanation of how you can become friends with your mind and have your mind on your team so it supports you. And instead of saying, you can't do that, why are you going to do that, you may fail, it says, hey, you know what, Steve? Let's go and try that. And then you know what? And in fact, I'm going to give you some ideas that may even help you on your quest to achieving your goal. And then you work in unison. Mind, body and soul becomes one. You are working as a unit with yourself on the same team. You know, it's a fantastic thing. No more fighting in your head. No more putting yourself down. Leading yourself into anxiety and panic attacks, things like that. You are one with yourself as you're meant to be. This is important. It's also important for our other relationships. Now, if we can't be friends with ourselves, how are we going to have a relationship with anyone else? We live with ourselves 24/7. We're always with ourselves. We need to make this relationship work. If we can't make it work with ourselves, how are we going to make it work with somebody else? If we can't get on with ourselves, how is someone else going to get on with us? You know, if we can't be at peace with ourselves, how are we going to be at peace with everyone else and in our life? So we need to learn how to be at peace and be one with ourselves. This is important. You know, this is I see all the stuff all the time on videos and things like this and what people are getting taught in school. No one is being taught to be your own best friend. Once you can master being your own friend, being one with yourself, other relationships become easier. Because you're no longer saying, hey, this person's going to make me happy. Because you're already happy. You start looking for relationships that are going to complement you, that are going to work alongside you, and you can grow with these relationships, these friendships. And these friendships, these people, get something back from you. How is it nowadays that we're taught, when you fall in love, this person's going to complete me? Isn't that a little bit too much pressure to put on someone? You know, my happiness is dependent on you. And that's great for the first 6 months. Your mind is quite happy with this person. They're fulfilling all your needs, and all the pictures you've painted in your own head of how the relationship's going to be is awesome. But then your mind starts getting bored, and you're like, actually, you know what? You're a bit of an asshole because you're no longer making me happy. You need to do other things to make me happy. I'm not happy because of you. You're no good. And you start resenting your partner because they're not making you happy. Making yourself happy is down to you. It's your responsibility, not theirs. You complement each other by being with each other because you want to, not because they owe you happiness. You know, and what happens with that, once the mind is no longer happy with them, because the mind likes fixes, it likes something that gets bored. You start looking for someone else to make you happy. And this is why people are cheating more and more. Because they're looking for the wrong thing in a relationship. They're looking for them to complete them and make them happy. That's not a relationship. You can't put that on somebody else. If you can't make yourself happy, how can you tell someone else to do it? You need to do it yourself. Make yourself happy. Because once you're happy, there's none of that pressure on the relationship. You're not looking at them going, that's my happiness. And then they talk to someone else and you're like, hey mate, you're talking to my happiness. If you go, I'm never going to be happy. It's all in your head. Make yourself happy. And then enjoy being with someone without the pressure and the expectations that they have to make you happy. You know, work on yourself. Sort yourself out, and I promise you, everything else will fall into place. You'll become calm, relaxed. You'll smile. And it's awesome. And you're responsible for that. No one else. Doesn't matter how much you try and put it on other people to make you happy. You are responsible for your happiness. You are. And if you can't do it, why are you putting it on someone else? This is what you have to remember. You can't just put it on someone you've met. Oh, hi mate, yeah, or hey babe, how's it going, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's go out. And then all of a sudden, one day you turn around and say, my happiness is dependent on you. What you're on about? I want to make you happy because I'm in a relationship with you. I'm happy myself and I want to share that with you. I want to help you grow because I want to. It's not my job, you know. It's our job to make ourselves happy. It's our responsibility. So we find out what makes us passionate, what we enjoy, and we work away to make this into our life wherever we can, as often as we can. Because once you're doing something you've got passion about, you feel alive and you can share that. You're no longer putting on your partner or other people around you and taking their energy to make you feel alive. You're creating energy because that's what we do. We all create energy from within. And we need to find our passions to do this. So it's about understanding yourself. This is where enlightenment comes into it. Understanding and mastering yourself. Not trying to control everyone around you. Well, if you do this, I'm going to feel happy. If you do that, I'm going to feel secure. If you do this, I'm going to feel better. You can't do that. You're going to drive yourself mad. We can't control external. External is fluid. It's always moving, always changing. We are the solid. We can only control us. And once we master ourselves and how we respond, opposed to react to situations, we are then in control of ourselves. We are mastering ourselves. And then we decide when we're going to be happy. We're going to decide how we respond. We're no longer triggered. And if we do get triggered, we work out why we're getting triggered and heal it and release it. And then we become happier in ourselves. And then we're ready for a relationship. Because we're ready in ourselves. We're happy in ourselves. And we've got no expectations that it's someone else's responsibility. Then we can have a healthy relationship. Built on mutual respect and trust. This is why it's important to be your own best friend. Because you're awesome. And you need to start telling yourself you're awesome. And start loving yourself. This is important. And if you can't do it right now, and it's difficult, it's a path and it's a process, but what better path can you be on than one to start being your own best friend and loving yourself? The reward is endless for you. The growth is endless for you. It's the most important thing there is. Become your own best friend. Know who you are and understand yourself. No longer living in denial, telling yourself one thing, knowing another. Trust yourself. Work out how to do it. It's important. Because then that's when you start to be truly happy, truly grateful, and appreciate who you are and all about life. Anyway, that's enough. Love and light. Stay bright, keep shining. You are all awesome and unique. Cherish this. It's a blessing. Don't try and fit in. Be yourself. Have a great morning, evening, noon and night. Whatever you are, whatever you're doing, keep shining. Thank you.